So, today we're going to talk about the proper mindset for pressure. Now, what does that mean? Developing the right mindset for pressure. Why would you even need a mindset for pressure after all? You're probably just going to block everything, right? Well, that's important. Today, we're actually going to talk about, or we're actually going to start today off with what not to do and some very, very, very common mistakes that I see. So we actually don't need all this distracting information on. So the biggest thing that we're going to learn right off the bat is the biggest issues. The number one issue that I see is this. Who can spot the mistake here? Why, if this was a real match, why do I consider this bad defense? I want to see chat interact, guys. Why do you think I consider this bad defense? No, not bad pressure, bad defense. I want anyone to answer. Anyone is allowed to answer. What about now? Why do I consider that? Cursed card. There are too many resets and there is no whiff punishing. Close, but again, you're evaluating the defense, not the pressure. I'm just doing whatever on pressure. I could literally just do this and it wouldn't change my answer. But Daydreams is correct. He did not escape after the specials end your turn. That is absolutely correct. But that is the mistake. But it's not the cause for the mistake. It's the symptom. People look at Goichi. And people look at defense like Goichi. And defense like Mr. Popo. And they think that their defense is incredible. Because they're able to tech DR. They're able to block every 6M. They're able to block everything. Exactly. They're too passive. Now, Goichi is not exactly too passive. Goichi is very, very scary because Goichi is harnessing exactly what we're going to talk about today. But, more importantly, he is not going to let you get away with this. Because right here, the more I pressure like this, even with a monster like Cell, it's very, 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 very hard. It's very, very, very hard to just sit there and try to react to everything. But even with Cell, it's very hard for me to continue pressuring after a certain point. Because at a certain point, it starts becoming dangerous for me. This is not easy for me. This is not easy, and this is not safe for me to continue doing this. And if I do this too often, you end up with a very serious issue. You end up with, essentially, well, thank you so much for the follow, Killer Squeak, I really appreciate it. You really end up with a situation where I can seriously overextend my pressure, where if I do this, which does happen from time to time, by the way, and you hold that, that is entirely your fault. You have no one to blame but yourself. Even if you tech that. If you see me spend an assist, and my assist is not regenning, it is your funeral. Because I can essentially do whatever I want to you. I can begin abusing the respect that you're affording to me. You're affording too much respect, which lets me get away with stuff like that. Or I could just fake whiff overhead against you twice. You know? So right here, this is not safe. You just let me reset off a minus, however something to him. And you can't react to everything because eventually, I'm just going to do that. And you're going to think that overhead's going to whiff. But it's not. Because I can also do that. Uh-oh. And it becomes very hard to react to everything. And that's what happens when you start abusing respect. The second mistake that I constantly see would be... Let's see if I do this. Oops. Oops. I'm messing up my own pressure. It's been a while since I pressured with this character. So let's say I do a string like that. Okay? That is a good response. But here's the problem. What if, instead of just doing this, what if I just do this? And instead go for safe pressure. The biggest mistake that I see on pressure I can actually demonstrate it to you this way. I really wish I had somebody to demonstrate. This. Because you're constantly trying to jump. Oops. And eventually, because you're constantly trying to jump, you get hit. Because if I notice you like to jump, if I notice that, like, my jumps are catching you a lot, like, if I do, like, doing this is catching you a lot, and I notice that you, first of all, I become plus there if you block it in the air. But if I notice you like to do that, I can just start doing stuff like this. Oops. Oh my god. I don't know his frame trap time. I'm going to do it with Kefla. There you go. And now you just ate a 2M. I don't even have to mix you anymore, because you're so antsy to get out that there is literally no reason for me to do anything other than just that. And if I'm really on point, you know, if I'm really on point, I could do something like, my bad. And then so on, so on, so on. You just eat a TOD and you die. All because you're super antsy to get out. And I don't even have to do anything to you. How many of you guys, press 1 in the chat, if you've been hit because you got tired of defending, or you weren't sure what your opponent was doing, and you got kind of scared, and they ended up abusing the fact that you were scared, and then you ended up getting hit by dumb stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much everyone here. That's pretty much everyone here. Exactly. That's kind of an issue. Because you guys are way too scared and imagining threats that are not there. Because, look at the string. There's nothing scary here. Now, of course, this can be scary. Because I could go for, you know, I could go for something like that. Or if I have, like, you know, high blocks and assists maybe. Like, let's pretend sell. You know, I could do something like that. But that's technically reactable. Technically. You are going to get hit by stuff from time to time. But that's technically reactable. And most of the time, when you guys get hit, and I see you guys in the let's see, and I see you guys in the ring match evaluations, I see this a lot. You guys getting hit after this. But Ken, you just said don't mash, and Ken, you just said that you shouldn't block everything. But you also said in the pressure class that if you mash, you kind of die. What exactly am I doing here? Well, I'm glad you asked, random student, because the important thing to learn here is to get comfortable blocking. The correct mindset. The correct mindset. We are going to learn a principle called active defense. Now, what the hell does that even mean? Well, a lot of people find blocking boring because you're not really doing anything. You're just kind of holding down back, you know. This is like your opponent's, you know, pressing cool stuff and they get to mess with you a little bit. You know, they get to do some stuff that seems scary. And they're like, you know, they're doing some stuff. You know, they're doing some stuff and it seems really cool and it's fun. Like, you're kind of in jail. Like, this isn't fun, right? You know, and then they hit you with the dumb mix-up like that and you get hit. And then they take you for a combo, and then they, you know, do this. They just built a lot of bar, and then you just eat a freaking level 3. And then you guys eat a 50-50. It's not fun. It's not fun. I get it. But what if I told you that blocking is actually very effective? And I don't mean it's effective because you don't get hit. It's effective because you can begin to turn the mind game that you have been practicing so far for the last 2 months, the mind game that comes with this, you now flip it on its head where you're actually getting into your opponent's head. Because remember, let's go back to the principles of pressure. Create respect, abuse respect. That's abusing respect. And now I reinforce my respect. And now I really begin to just abuse my respect. But now we have a big issue. What happens if you never really know if you've actually successfully created respect? You see, what scares me is not the opponent that's going to block everything. What scares me is the opponent that's sometimes going to block this, and then out of nowhere is going to do that. And I never know which version of that player I'm facing in that particular moment. That is so effective and scary. Because now, because I don't want to get hit, now, because of the threat of not knowing what my opponent's going to do, I'm more likely to spend resources to remain safe, and my pressure is now going to look a lot safer. Now you're going to see a lot more true block strings. You're going to see a lot more resets. If I do something risky, I'm going to block and call an assist. Like, I'm going to do stuff to try to keep myself safe as possible, because I don't want to get hit, and sooner or later, if it becomes unsafe for me to pressure, this, I'm going to return to neutral, because it is not safe for me to attack my opponent anymore. And that, my friends, is why Goichi is so effective on defense. It's not because he blocks everything. It's because you never really know when he's tired of blocking. And you never really know if he's going to respect you or not. Because there are some times where Goichi, after blocking for 2 sets, just says, you know what? Fuck you. Well, maybe not that, but... Damn, did I pick the wrong way again? I did. You never know when Goichi's just going to decide, I'm tired of it. Fuck you. And now, I don't know what he's going to do. Now, I'm in a situation where I genuinely have no idea what he's going to do. I have no idea if he's going to respect. I have no idea if he's going to continue to block, or if in the next gap I do, I'm eating a level 3. And I don't know how to structure my pressure around that. You know? I don't know how to structure my pressure around that. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, how am I supposed to approach this guy? He's just gonna mash. Or isn't he? I don't know. I don't know what to do. And because you don't know what to do, on the attacker's end, you've essentially nullified me. I'm not going to be doing stuff like this now. You know, I'm not going to be doing stuff like this, you know, stuff like that. I'm not going to be doing some unsafe stuff. You know, I'm not going to go for crazy mix-ups, you know. I'm not going to go for, you know, I don't think I could do it with this character, but I'm not going to go for stuff like, you know, the cross-ups like that, you know, like I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what he's going to do. I just want to end my turn as safely as possible and hopefully hit a 6M. And that is right, and that right there, all of that anxiety that your opponent is supposed to feel on block, you now feel as the one aggressing. And that is a very powerful feeling. Because if your opponent never knows what to expect against you, it is virtually impossible to play that mind game. They just flipped it on you. And remember, they have the advantage in some ways because blocking is 100% safe. You're never going to get hit for blocking. You can't, unless you block incorrectly. But if you have excellent defense and you cultivate good defense, that's it. But how can he remain so calm blocking? Why? What is he looking for? And that brings me to the number one goal of all defense in all fighting games, including this one. And you might be wondering, okay, well, as somebody that's actually, you know, pressuring an opponent, how do you know your opponent's going to mash? Like, why do you stagger that way? Like, what if they just block everything? And I've actually said this on stream. I said they won't. How do I know that? How do I know that they won't do that? Because the number one goal of blocking and the number one goal of defense is to escape. Not block, not defend, not reflect, escape. And the best way to escape 9 times out of 10 is to just block. What do I mean by that? Well, eventually I will spend my assists, and eventually it will be unsafe for me to continue my pressure. And when it becomes unsafe for me to continue my pressure, I'm getting hit. I'm getting hit, my opponent's getting out. I need to end my turn on my terms. So, the best way you can do that is patience. Now, how do you go about this? What are the necessary requirements? Well, unfortunately, guys, if you were expecting this to be a miracle answer, unfortunately, it's not. Regardless of how you slice it, and I'm in your boat too, I completely understand your pain. It pisses me off every damn time. Unfortunately, you're going to have to learn to tech DR, and you're going to have to learn to block 6M. We will talk about these situations in their own masterclasses, but basically, the reason why you need to be able to do that is because if you tech DR, your turn's over. Thank you so much for the follow, Black Lion. I really, really appreciate the follow, my friend. So if my opponent does this, I just whiff the button right under them. Blocking is not toxic, but blocking is important. And Faisal Dante is one of the people that I would say I've seen his defense, and his defense against bad pressure is pretty decent. But his pressure when it comes to actually facing it from high level, he has a hard time figuring out when to escape. So he holds a lot of dumb stuff that he really shouldn't be holding. But, let's see. It's about ambiguity in your offense and defense, never letting your opponent know what to expect. Yes, you are correct, Ryan. Let's see. Ketera says, this makes it sound like it's better to be a bit risky on defense from time to time, rather than just trying to be as safe as possible. Yes and no. It's more of looking for the safest time to escape. Now, we're going to go over tactics to escape this particular situation that the Blue Goku is in right now. But the most important thing that we're going to learn is the goal is to escape. So what you'll often see is the employment of OSs like Fuzzy Jump, Fuzzy Guarding. Now, these OSs, they can be targeted, so be careful using them. But the most common thing that you will see to try to escape is Jump. So if you jump, you avoid a lot. And this is why jumping in this game is particularly effective defensively. Now let's turn something on. I'm minus 36. Because I just whiffed DR. It is basically reverse pressure. That's why I often describe pressure as a mind game. And if I define mind game, since apparently I've seen some top level players have a problem with that word, mind game essentially means any situation in which you and your opponent essentially have to battle your mentality. Where you have to use and create a mentality in your opponent, and you have to resist that and impress your own. This is very, very, very good. This is very, 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 very safe. Thank you so much for the follow, Ishana Nani. I really appreciate it. Now, the big thing to keep in mind is that jumping is one way that's very effective. What is not effective? Reflect. You guys knew it was coming. Reflect is a death sentence. Why is reflect a death sentence? Because if you're pressuring, or your opponent is pressuring properly, that happens. You can bait reflect accidentally. Like that. Like literally accidentally. And just so you guys get an understanding of that reward, look how much bar I just built from 0 bars. That did about 4K. And I just built well over 2 bars. Which means that the next touch that I get, Blue Goku dies. Even if he's from full health. Because I will always be able to guarantee that I could DHC into my mid or my anchor. So, now sometimes you could do that, but what if I do that? Or if I do this? And if I do nothing, by the way. Oops. You get the point. That's a TOD. Reflect is death. There is no reason for you to reflect 9 times out of 10 in your opponent's pressure. Oh, and that's another reason, by the way. It loses to throws. Now imagine if the situation was reversed. Uh-oh. My bad. Wow, my Blue Goku's rusty. Hello. Look at that damage off of a command grab because you had the audacity to reflect me. That is very dangerous, especially because if you had just been paying attention, the thing I'm doing 9 times out of 10 is usually this or this. Oh my god, why does it do that? Stop. Oh my god, pain. That. Literally just DR, dash DR. That's it. Or dash IAD. And you could get out of 2 out of 3 of those by simply jumping, teching the DR, And if I get really predictable and I do this, you can actually OS the DR by teching it with 2H. Which means, if I do this, I get 2H'd, and if I do this, you still tech the DR. So there's literally no reason for you to reflect here. Because you're hoping you'll catch the refrain trap, I guess, but what if I just do this? You know, if I do that and I know you like to reflect, that goes into my reflect proof string. All I have to do is press 5M, which is a natural reaction with Kefla, because you don't want to spend your 2M before 5M with Kefla. And the reason why is because that is a nasty frame trap and has very similar timing to this. So, that is why you do not DR, or you do not reflect. So you might be thinking, well, why the fuck is reflect so important? Why is it a big deal that Vidal doesn't have one? Well, it's because reflect does have its uses, but not like that. Reflect is not a get-off-me tool, and reflect is not a catch-all to escape pressure. Reflect is very useful in many situations, but I'm going to talk about 3 big ones in the particular situation that are pertinent to this discussion. The big one is this, and this, and this. So, if we go back to reflecting, let me see if I can delay a little bit. I can't reflect proof from here. Look how far that brings me back. So if I do, that's a lot of time. That is a lot of time to pass before I can reflect proof anything. And even then, I'm not usually expecting to get reflected there. 5M doesn't even come back to hit for a while, man. I mean, look at the, let's say we do startup. That doesn't hit until frame 32. That doesn't hit until frame 32. That's absurd. Now, I could do this. You know, I could maybe do that. But look how much time there is for me to reapproach, first of all. He can jump out. He can escape. If I time it perfectly, like if I do that, maybe. You know, if I do even that, you know, like, yeah, he could do that, but he could just reflect the assist. And if he reflects the assist, by the way, this does, by the way, I want to point this out. We'll talk, actually, we'll get there in a second. But the point being is that I have to use an assist to maintain my turn, and we'll talk about assists being reflected in a minute, but the TLDR is you reduce the frame advantage of an assist by reflecting it most of the time. So if you reduce the frame advantage, that's the difference between me doing something like this. You know, if I have like a really high blocks on assist, that is the difference between whether or not that or that is real. If you reflect Kid Buu A, there is no mix anymore. You are unsafe mixing. The mix is no longer real. They have to block it in order for you to get out of it. So, if I do something reflect proof like this, even if they reflect the assist, I'm plus 32. So if I do... If they cancel out of the stun, if they do anything, it's not my turn. Like, it is kind of my turn, but I'm not mixing you. I'm not going for a mix-up, because that's just risky as hell. That's very dangerous. All I can do now is I am spending a resource to maintain my turn. And when you don't have an assist anymore, your pressure, no matter how good it is, no matter how good your pressure is, no matter how good your staggers are, an assist is always going to be better than not having one, even for me. So you don't want to blow it that way. Let me go ahead and read the chat. Let's see. I want to DP someone. Fuck off, Tatsai. Let's see. Kedera says, it seems like the power of reflect is more that it makes people think what you're about to reflect something rather than you do reflect something. No. The power of reflect is it's not their turn anymore. It's not my turn anymore. He can just jump out. Or he can start his own counterattack. Because he can do something like reflect, dash block, call Beerus. Or he can reflect, call Beerus, and then jump forward. Or he can reflect, call Beerus, and then IED, super jump IED, and if I block it, I'm kind of screwed. It's not a fun situation, it's not a great situation, and I'm not prepared for the reflect. Another way it's really good is, I cannot anti-reflect that, I'm minus 10. If you can react to 6M, reflect it. And the reason why is because most of the time 6M is paired with an assist. So let me go ahead and bring an assist that is a bit more up to my speed. Let's do Vegeta B and Cell B. Yeah, easy. I know how to use this. So if I do this, the assist also gets reflected. And I'm still minus 6. He can get out of here for free. And I just wasted an assist. Maybe if I delay the call. It's still not ideal. Double reflect seems super risky sometimes to me, because it is. Reflect is a giant commitment. Look what happens if I whiff reflect. I'm minus 40, basically. You do not want to whiff this. There is a lot of recovery. So yeah, doing this is very risky. It's a mind game in and of itself, and it will get its own time pretty soon. Is it reliable to hit reflect anytime you hear an assist call? Yeah, you could do that. Because if they reflect an assist, they nullify a lot of the block stun. That's 29. Let's see. That's actually more for your advantage. That's crazy. Point is, if I have an assist like, let's say, audio cues are important. But be careful, because obviously it's not your turn. Point being is that if you reflect 6M, there is nothing I can do here. It doesn't matter how plus you are, it doesn't matter anything. I am now minus 6. Which means if you were right in front of me, I would be punishable. Now, thankfully, there's nothing you can do to close that gap in time for me to be unsafe. But you do have enough time to escape the corner. And that's why it's so important to be able to tech DR and block 6M. Because if you could tech DR and block the 6M, you could reflect the 6M and you could jump the DR. And now we're starting to think of not only how to escape the thing, or escape the situation, you're now thinking on how you can punish them for the situation. And that's very, very important. The ability to react to your opponent is going to give you the ability to actually begin to mount a counter-offensive. And you are doing that because your defense is active, you are blocking, but you are paying attention, you are waiting for the right situation to abuse your tools. The next problem that I see, guard cancel. I don't want to talk about guard cancel because I don't think guard cancel is that great of a mechanic. I do think that... Now, here's the thing. There are certain situations that are fantastic about reflect. There is a really big advantage to reflect, and that is reflect tag. If you guys don't reflect tag, it is time to start doing so. Reflect tag is super, super strong because now, if I do this, I just got reflected. Goku can raw tag. So if I do something like this, let's see. Let's see, if I do this, and then instead of that, I'll play recording. Oh, pain. Oh, right, because there's no assist. Got it. I just got tagged, and I was literally just trying to take my turn. Now, could I have 2H there? Yes. But I'm not looking for the raw tag. And now, that bleeding blue Goku, let's pretend he was injured because, you know, you just went neutral, you put him in the corner, he's blocking in the corner, 9 times out of 10 he took a little bit of damage. Your opponent just got the bleeding character out of there and brought in a full health Beerus out. And just so you can understand how dire that situation is for some characters... Let's see. If I hit you with a super dash, by the way, or a raw tag, well, if I hit you with a super dash or a raw tag, yeah, you see where this is going. I don't know why I'm trying the hard loops when I'm rusty with this character, but let's go for it. Nope. Pain. It's been a while since I practiced those. Almost. There we go. Now, I wouldn't ZHC, but you could already start to see the damage. All because I got hit by Blue Goku's raw tag. There you go. No, 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 no. No, no, no. You don't get the idea, Meta, because you are guilty of getting hit by this all the damn time. Remember that. You still get hit by that. And I can't do that combo to you, and it makes me sad. I wish I could. But the point is, there are a lot of characters that have wonderful reward off of a super dash or a raw tag. Especially characters that have loops, or they have a special that sends them across the screen, or they're able to actually confirm and re-combo and re-jump off of the super dash. Or worse, if they have a sliding knockdown that leads to incredibly strong Oki, such as 18. You run into a lot of situations that are very nuanced and diverse, but depending on the character, getting hit by a reflect raw tag is not great. And even against this character, you can only 2H the ones that you don't really see coming. Like, you can only 2H the ones that you see coming, which is why at high level you often see this. You often see people who get reflected do this. It's got a block. You'll often see that. Where they just hang out. Or they'll do that. And they'll just dash block because they expect the tag. They start walking back, and then they 2H the tag. The only problem with that is that if they're expecting the tag and they start walking back, she can just jump out of the corner. Now, I can, of course, air to air, I can meet her there. You know, I can try to get her there. If I'm Cell, I can probably just get hit per hit attack and be fine. But now you're in a situation where you are no longer in an advantage. You've just created a mini mind game within your pressure. You are no longer in the advantage. It is a situation that is very, very difficult. So in that interaction, it's better to expect the tag and potentially return to neutral, but give up your turn. Sometimes, yeah. It can be. I mean, obviously your mileage may vary. If your opponent has shown that they like to reflect raw tag, absolutely it's worth waiting for it. If your opponent is somebody that doesn't reflect raw tag, then no, there's no point. Because they haven't demonstrated to you that that's a thing. You have to let your opponent... demonstrate what they are willing and unwilling to do, because that will determine your strategy. There's no reason to worry about threats that aren't there. Too many times I see people bait a reflect or bait something that they think a good player will do, but they'll end up losing their turn, or they'll end up getting their ass kicked because their opponent literally had no intention of doing anything that they said they would. Like a Teen Gohan baiting guard cancel. Like, if I see a Teen Gohan do, like, LLL and then do nothing and just sit there because they're waiting for the reflect, and most of the time, like, that person just sits there. And it's like, okay, well, why aren't you reflecting? You should be dying to the reflect right now. And it's like, well, I wasn't sure I could reflect there, and I'm not really looking to reflect right now. I'm just kinda chilling. Give me 1 second. But the point is, yeah, it's an interaction that really, 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 really fucking sucks. And you really want to be careful here, because this is risky. This is very risky. Anything that you do is a commitment at this point, except returning to neutral, which is why you'll often see at high level, people just get the fuck out of there and return to neutral. But basically, to recap, block. But while you're blocking, pay attention to your opponent. Develop the skills necessary to tech DR and block 6M. Once you've acquired those, start reflecting 6M, start reflecting overheads, start paying attention to your opponent, and start seeing what they do. Because sometimes, most of the time, you guys start mashing on your opponent that's literally just doing this. Like, what is the point of this? Like, this is the basis of a lot of pressure I see from you guys. And it's like, why are you disrespecting this? Just wait for him to end his turn. There's nothing scary here. He's not doing stuff like that. There's no reason. There's nothing to interact with. He's literally just doing a true string. But because you guys are so scared, true string high lows. Who cares? This is reactable. This is reactable, guys. Maybe he could do something sneaky like that, but you can OS it. Even if you don't. You could just do this. Fuzzy guard. If it's not a 50-50, you don't have to worry about it. Now, if he does this... If he does that, yeah, you have to worry about that. 6H is different. 6H, with Kefla, serves the dual purpose of not only being an additional threat to your opponent, but also making everything else she can do very difficult to react to, because a lot of people are going to tech the 6H thinking it's DR. Because they notice the timing and they're like, oh, it's time. Because contrary to popular belief, guys, most players, including at the top level, they don't really react to shit. They've just seen these situations so many times that if they see a pause like that, they're like, okay, that's going to be a reset or it's a DR. I'm just going to press DR. Boom. What makes me scared is the IID stuff. Yeah, no, this is a vicious overhead for sure. Like, this is good. This works at high level. Thank you so much for the follow, by the way, Chris Cards. The thing that gets hit, like, these things work at high level. Like, honestly, I've seen Wawa get hit by this. I'm not kidding. I have seen Wawa. I've seen all of your favorite players in the Nationals get hit by that. But it is technically reactable. You can OS it. And, honestly, just because they get hit by it from time to time doesn't mean it's going to hit you every time. Boom. And then the moment you're able to block DR like this, so if I do this, oops, you see right here, you might be wondering, okay, now it's time for my Kefla to mash. No, it is not. And now we're going to talk about a defensive option that a lot of you guys are married to, but you have to be very, very, very careful with, and that is mash. No, by OS the IEDs, you could just fuzzy guard. Just do this. But the point is, this right here, very strong. This is very strong pressure. And you might be wondering, what would be the best course of action here? Because I saw some stuff, I saw some, like, you know, I could probably react to that. No. In situations where your opponent's doing this, be careful. because now your opponent's in control, and they're scouting for a weakness. So a 50-50 is coming, or a mix. Like that. So you gotta be super on your guard, and if you start mashing, if you mash in the wrong place... And remember, guys, nobody mashes frame perfectly. If you're mashing realistically, it's like mashing here with 9 frames of delay. And then that happens. Or this. I cannot express to you how many times people have gotten hit by the reset. And then this. I cannot express to you how many times people have been hit by that. This is not 4L, guys. That is 5L. Cell does not have a 4L. Or how many times I've seen that happen. Or even this. Oops. Damn. Let me see. That. Or even this, actually. Okay, that wins. Nope. I have seen some gnarly stuff from people trying to mash. Do not take your turn back. Do not... Your turn is an illusion. Just accept the fact that your turn is over. Because then I've seen people get hit trying to mash the 6M. I've seen people just get hit doing dumb shit. Don't do that. If you see your opponent and they are going very aggressive and they have good pressure like this, you know, if they're doing stuff like that, it's always better to try to sit there and wait out what they're trying to do and react to their mix. That is the best way to get out, because this is so risky to challenge. But you might be wondering, haha, but what if she level 3s? What if I level 3? I'll just input it so that way I'm OSing and it's gonna be great and blah 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 and oh my gosh. Oh, that was a frame shot that... Ah, yeah, I can't true string to 2M. My bad. Yeah. Well, that's not what I meant to do. Right, because I have no bar. There you go. I've actually seen this happen at a high-level match before. Pain. And that, my friends, is when we start posting baguettes in the chat. But yeah, that's a big no-no. This pressure, even if you have 3 bars, is so risky, because that's when you start seeing my pressure become this. That's when you start having a really hard time figuring out when is a good time to level 3. Thank you so much for the follow, Ace Fauna. I really appreciate it. You guys are really, really on fire today with these follows. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. But yeah. It all comes back to this, guys. Just block. Because if you're blocking, now you're watching me very carefully. So you're watching what patterns am I doing a lot. So that way your mashing becomes safer, because when you see things get repeated, you realize, ah, you already did that before. Hello, I am Funny Man. They're like, ah, I've already seen that before. I'm not holding that. I'm sorry. And then 2H, boom. And now you get a 2H punish, and if you're playing Kefla, you get a TOD. You guys get the point. Not a fun situation, but so much reward is yielded because my opponent is defending actively. They are blocking, but they are paying attention. So that's important. That's important. And it all comes from the mindset of active defense. What you need to cultivate, the bottom line, is you need to cultivate the mentality of active defense. You need to maintain the idea that you are blocking and that your turn is over, but you are looking for the opportunities to escape. And there are some basic strategies that I can do. We're going to end this particular portion of the stream with a strategy. How do I escape the corner? Very, very simple. First of all, win our safe escapes. Eventually, I will end in a special, or I will end in that. Because it's -4. Not bad, especially if I'm Kefla. You guys have seen that a lot. That's why 5S is such a good point. If your opponent, if you're paying attention, and your opponent hasn't done that, you might be able to risk it for the biscuit and try to jump out, but just be aware that that is a threat. And if you try to jump, it will kill you. Do not bite into the reflect gambit here. It's very risky. Now, the safest time, let's say I just do that, and I just ended my string in a special, and let's say that Kefla, like, here. I'll just show you guys. Okay, right? Let's say she does that to me. Oops. Damn it. Pain. And let's say I do this. Something like that. Okay? Now watch. I'm out. I'm not holding that. And I can really make it ambiguous too. Like I can just go. Okay. I'm out. On reaction. On that. I'm out. Because I literally forgot the beginning of that string. To be completely honest. I started thinking about something else. But I just saw the special and I'm like, nope! I'm out. Get away from me. Wouldn't a good player back up a special move with an assist, though? Your opponent only has 2 assists. And chances are they've used one of them at least to win neutral. And chances are they did something like this. Because they can't stagger forever. This is very risky. Eventually, they will need to end their turn appropriately to get out. There you go. So the moment you see a special without an assist, even if it's a special like that, even if it's a special like that, I'm out. There's no reason for me to be here. And that's when you start doing defensive stuff as well. Because once you understand and you're like, okay, I looked for specials, I see that his turn's over, I'm getting out. I'm not worrying about that anymore. I'm out. Peace, peace, peace. Now here's the thing. A good opponent will know that their turn's over. So what you'll see a lot is this. They're going to escape. They're going to leave, right? And now because you understand that their turn is over and they have no assists and you have assists, that's when shit starts getting fun. Because that's when you start doing this. See? And at that point, I can actually keep chasing. So if I do... and then I can convert. And all I did was literally dash, block, call, and assist. Now you can dash OS. If you're very, very quick, you could potentially get a punish, especially if they have a very, very, very large 5L. My turn. And so on. Yep, you chase with 2 fresh assists. And they now have a hard time dealing with stuff. That is very, very, very potent. We will talk about dash blocking and pressure at another time, but that is an option that you have to escape the corner. You can also super jump out. I always recommend super jumping out, or you can also super jump back, float like this. So here are some strategies. This is how you escape the corner. It all depends on your character, first of all, but these are doable universally. I don't care what character you're using. If you're able to super jump, or if you're able to get out of the corner, one thing you can do, super jump. Super jump forward is very potent because, look. Kefla right here, the moment I cross up, I'm blocking, and I don't have to change my movement. So let me go ahead and show you guys my my inputs so you guys can actually see this. Okay, guys, in the chat, press 1 for virtual controller, press 2 for command history. Which do you want? Controller or command history? Which do you guys find more helpful? Quickly. Alright. Notice how my inputs don't change at all. But I'm not blocking, now I am blocking. So if my opponent tries to chase, if my opponent does something like this, they do something like that, I'm blocking. I'm out. And even if they do manage to gel me back down to the ground, you know, if they manage to do something, that's fine. I'm out of the corner. It doesn't matter. My defensive options have increased. So, another big thing that you could do, okay, to escape. Super jump back, double jump forward. This is a bit more defensive because you're blocking from the get-go. This is blocking. And you could potentially make them whiff. This, very good way to get out of the corner. This is a very good strategy. Now, if you want to be a bit more aggressive, something that you can do, this. ID back, JH. Because if they try to do something like this, something like that, and so on and so on. This is a little bit more active, obviously. This is a huge call out, but it is doable. I have seen it. Don't try this at home, kids. You guys are not ready. But that is very, very strong. Another pattern that's very, very good. This. Super jump forward JL. Why? Because your opponent's not an idiot. They will do something like this. Oops. We're going to pretend I blocked that. And that can get you out of that. Because they're not ready for you to attack. Could they just 2H? 2H what? They're minus. They could potentially 2H, but they're not expecting you to jump. And even if they did 2H and you save, like, it's way too risky. I mean, yeah, you could probably get away with it, but who cares? You should be doing this anyway. Yes, you should be doing this anyway, so I wouldn't worry about it. And again, they're not going to 2H you unless they're actually expecting you to IAD, which is insane. Nobody would expect that option. This is very strong. There you go. That's another very strong thing that you can do. Practice these. Super jumping out of the corner. Very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. But be careful because your opponent can chase you. Just know that. Now, if you're playing a character like Vegeta, Bardock, a character with an air lariat, you have an additional option. This. This is a very, very, very strong option. I see a lot with Bardock and Vidal players. I see this. Because that catches that. And what's really cool is because it puts your opponent in a mix-up. So if they block an assist... If they block an assist they're not ready for... Let's say if I do this... It's my turn now. And I get to start my pressure. I wouldn't worry too much about 17's I wouldn't rely too much on that. That's not a good option to escape the corner. But, very, very good. Very, very good idea. This is very strong. You just get out of the corner. Whee! Now, something to never do, by the way. Something to never, ever, ever, ever do. I don't ever want to see any of you do this. Please do not vanish out of the corner. I'm not even going to explain to you why it's bad. Just don't do it. Just don't vanish out of the corner. If you have the habit of vanishing, I'm going to bait that so hard and I'm going to 2H you. Just stop vanishing out of the corner. Please, for the love of almighty Christ, don't do that anymore. If you are the kind of person to vanish out of the corner, today is the day you stop. Welcome to the intervention. Let's see. What about super jump, downward special like a shallow dive kick? Not a great idea. It's good. Oh my god. Which one is it? There we go. Fuck. Like, it's very shallow, first of all. And while it does work, especially if you have like blue Vegeta, or I'm sorry, if you have like blue Goku or like blue Goku or what's his face? Goku Black and whatnot, your opponent can actually just jump the assist, wait for you to land on the other side of the screen, and then 5S the recovery because you just whiffed. Especially if they have very, very fast ki blasts. So I would be very, very careful. Something like Blue Goku, it doesn't matter. You can literally be on the other side of the screen. Like, I wouldn't. It's better for stuff that leaves you mobile in the air. Especially if it travels a large distance and lets you do stuff like that. This is a bit of a commitment, but point is, if you have an air lariat, it's a good way to use it. You can use Cooler's light dive kick to escape the corner until someone begins punishing consistently with ki blast. Yep. Exactly. They can do that. Now, of course, you could just jail into an assist, but the thing is you're calling an assist to not die, while this is calling an assist to take your turn. Wow, that was a curse cross-up. You know, now we're a bit more proactive. There's a big difference between stuff that spends a resource and gets you out of there safe, and stuff that basically lets you convert the situation into one that's in your favor. Dive is a good way to get 2H. If I see you above me and you're at 21, I'm going to start walking back. Because if I suspect a dive, I'm 2Hing you. So yeah, no, don't do that with 21, but do that with Vidal. Vidal is very good at escaping the corner, especially very quickly. There you go. So, that's the important thing. So to recap, the foundation of our time together, guys. The foundation of everything that we're going to do, the foundation of our defense is the same as our pressure. We're going to play a mind game with our opponents. And we're going to block, and we're going to escape. Most of the time, you guys are on that rank ladder. You guys are just going to see this, probably. You guys are mostly just going to see that, honestly. I wouldn't even try to mash. Just try to react to everything. Now, if you see pressure like this, it's always better to just block because you need to look for a way out. Now, of course, this is not a catch-all. If your opponent has good pressure, they're going to really mess with you. This is not a pressure killer. This just is the foundation for the interactions that we're going to see. And now, for the purposes of this demonstration, guys, I'm going to watch a VOD now. I'm going to watch a VOD that we have watched before. Or actually, that we haven't watched before. And instead of watching Goichi play today, we're actually going to watch the French nationals. And we're going to see a beautiful match between Yasha. I'm sorry, not Yasha. Gila, the monster Gila, versus an old friend of mine. Well, he's not really an old friend, but he's an acquaintance. He's a friend to the stream. I love him very much. I played him a few times. I think he's an excellent fucking player and one of the best players I've seen on Block. Kasuga. Mais oui. Mais oui. And we're going to watch a VOD on how they interact.
Fun. Watch.
We'll have a little bit of commentary. And here you go, guys. You have Genin Beats with Adult Gohan and Trunks. This team is cancer to deal with in neutral. And we're going to watch a couple of matches. This whole set, maybe. And then, of course, you have Kasuga, a good friend of mine, and an amazing Kefla player, but an even stronger 21 player with 21 and 18 in the back. Let's see who comes out on top. And let's see if we could see any interesting interactions on how they behave on pressure or on block. So, first things first, we're going to have a good opening. Backdash, very, very safe. Fuck you, by the way, Janimbas who do this. I hate you for pressing 2-2-S and then calling a beam. You suck. I hate you. Please, dog, I just want to play the game. Just let me neutral, man. Just let me neutral, man. By the way, speaking of, press 1 if you got hit!
Pay the man, though. Like, come on.
Press 1 if you got hit, maybe. Because watch that. You're going to do all this stuff. You know, boom, boom, boom. 2L, 5L, DR, baby. The homework. The pressure homework. And it works on Kasuga. And it is amazingly strong. But why did that work in particular? Because fuck you, Gila. You called an assist so your opponent thought you were going to do something else. Dick. I like it. Good pressure. And good defense. Because he respected. Of course, that leads to a DR situation. Thankfully, did spend both of his assists, so this is not going to be an enormous amount of damage, but it does put Kefla in a bad spot. Let's see. Let me see who ended up following me. Or ended up, I'm sorry, yeah, following me? Is it a follow? Hang on. Oh, thank you so much for the gifted sub, Daydreams. I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for the follow, by the way. Johnny McPherson, I think that's the name. Hello. How's it going? Thank you so much for joining us. I really, really appreciate it. Also, I didn't mention it before, guys, but thank you so much for, if you guys do subscribe or donate, it is greatly appreciated. It does help the channel a lot. I am trying to kind of gear into this a little bit more full-time. And also, I have COVID. Although I am recovering, for those of you that's worried. So this will make up some of the lost income. If you guys have anything in your heart that you would like to donate, even if it's $2 or $1 or even 50 cents, I don't care. Any help is greatly appreciated. And thank you so much for being here, guys. And thank you so much for the gift sub, J-Dream. I really appreciate it. But anyway, back to the thing. We're going to see. Yep. So for those of you that don't know what Janimba's doing here, we're going to slow this down. Actually, I'm not going to mess with it. 2L, 5L, 5LL, reset into 5L. Stagger pressure. Basic pressure. That is so important and so necessary. Oh, thank you so much for the donation, Ishana Nani. My gosh, you guys are so fucking generous. I really appreciate it. And I really hope you're enjoying the content. But right here, yeah, I know. I decided to just make it big. I didn't care. I was like, listen, you guys can just watch the chat some other time. Because I really want this to be seen. So right here, 2L, 5L, 5LL, reset into 5L. And notice how he could have gotten mashed here. He could have gotten mashed here. This is mashable. And Kasuga respects. Because Kasuga is actively defending here. He's looking for a way to escape. He is looking for a hole in Janemba's pressure. So that way he can actually take his turn back, escape the situation, or get out of there as quickly as he possibly can. And boom, he found an escape. Because he felt the rhythm, he knew this rhythm, and he knew Janemba's rhythm. He knew, nope, that's too cursed. And so that was actually a brilliant escape. That was brilliant defense by Kasuga. Because he got out of the situation, he returned to neutral. Unfortunately, he didn't navigate it as well, and he ended up getting hit. But that's going to happen from time to time, especially at these high-level matches. But the point is he was no longer in that very scary situation. So let's see what happens here. So he sparks to get out, and then starts his own offensive. Very, very, very nice. Very nice offensive. Let's see. Oh, thank you so much. Holy shit. Ketara, thank you. I appreciate that, dog. Man, you didn't have to do that. I appreciate it. Okay, I completely missed that. I don't know why your donations are not showing up. You know what? If you guys can give me a second to mess with this, let me just go ahead and make sure. Because the alert box should be sending up... I'll fix it next time. I'm sorry if your donations don't show up there. I'll make sure to have that fixed by tomorrow. But thank you so much for the people who donated. Honestly, it really warms me from the bottom of my heart that you guys are so kind. I really appreciate it. Back to the VOD. Okay. So we have Spark. And of course, he's going to land. And he's not sure that she's going to go high or low. It's actually a fucked up situation. And she ends up clipping him low and then ends up getting hit. Kasuga takes this time to actually build as much meter as possible, carry Janemba to the corner, resets into freaking 18, gross, and that's a bad guard cancel. I don't think that guard cancel was intentional. But he got hit. And that is going to be a really hurt A Gohan. And Kefla, this is where your optimal combos are going to be very, very important. And of course, optimal combo not very optimal, but a pretty high damage combo into 21 level 3. And this is going to create a very nasty situation for Gila, because Gila now has to guess for the character. Gila, in this situation, is better to just block. And we get a mix-up, the true 50-50. So, what happened here? What did Kasuga do? This is a strategy U21 players can steal. It's one that I've seen Bamki do. It's really degenerate. But Bamki doesn't do it well. Because Bamki, you have to whiff JH. So that JH was always going to whiff. Because his opponent, as you can see, is still an untechable time. Untechable time, for those of you that don't know, is a state where your opponent is technically in recovery. Like they're recovering from the ground. However, they cannot be hit yet. They have no hurt box. Honestly, this one is pretty simple. All you have to do is ID JH, but you have to do that early. Like, immediately, the moment you can ID JH, the JH whiffs, and then the second they wake up, hit them JM. And of course, with that guess for the character situation did not end well for Gila. Gila dies. This is very effective. That particular thing is actually very effective against characters with DPs. Because most DPs are on a 214 or a 236 input rather than a 22 input. So that's a very good way to fuck them up. Very good. So right here, this is actually a very smart opening gambit. Gila's going to dash forward and dash jump. Kasuga already committed. Here, this should have been a punish. Because you can see she's in recovery. But it doesn't matter because she's got Solar Flare and she catches the Rod Tag. But the Rod Tag right here, that could have easily have hit. That really could have easily have hit. Thank you so much for the follow, Divisor. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope you're enjoying the content. But this is very, very, very strong. That should have hit. Kasuga's really fishing for that 2H. Gila's eager for the punish, and this is something. This is a blunder on Gila's end. This is actually a bad habit that I've noticed Gila can sometimes have, and one that you guys. Yeah, the visor's in here. Thank you so much for the follow. But for those of you that don't know, and for those of you that are kind of unsure about how this works, for those of you that are unsure, the blunder here, Gila's not paying attention to Kasuga's assist. If you guys are fighting an 18 with a barrier, and they have either of these two characters, you must at all times, literally all times, be aware of when this assist is up. Because if you are aware, so the smart thing to do for Trunks here would have actually been to jump forward IAD and then see if she could maybe bait, or see if maybe he could bait something from 21 here without having to bite into the barrier because he just whiffed full auto combo. And of course, 21's going to come in with a 2M, and that's going to be big damage on Gila. Into a level 3. So that's a guess for your character situation. Right there. Very smart. Very, very smart. So what happened here? Right here. This was very, very wise. So he did the same thing, the same setup again, right here, and then immediately backdashes because he's expecting the spark. Uh-oh. Thank you so much for the gifted sub again, Stealthy. I really appreciate it. Oh, no, that was Daydreams last time. Stealthy, thank you so much for gifting one to Divisor. Wow. Thank you for the tier 1 sub. I really appreciate it. But, yeah. And by the way, guys, please make sure to watch the official stream. This is from the Bandai Namco Esports. It's currently on Nightbot if you guys want to actually watch the full VOD on your own, just so that way you guys know. So this is brilliant because that's a lot of blue health. It is in Gila's best interest right now to spark, and this baits the level 3, and this also baits the level 3, and it also baits the any reversal. It baits the spark as well, and he was looking for that spark punish. Unfortunately, Kasuga didn't find it because active defense. You see, he's blocking, and he's just blocking because he knows what she's looking for. He understands the situation. Look at the health, look at the assists, look at the damage done on both teams. He knows that Kasuga is going to be looking for a spark or a level 3. Not in your best interest. Even on block, never give your opponent what they want. If they want you to keep blocking, that is when you attack. When they want you to attack and they're trying to bait you interacting with their pressure, do not interact with their pressure. Basically, always be ambiguous, but more accurately, never do what your opponent wants and never do what your opponent expects. Very, very nice. Flipping. Now it gets the spark. Okay, this is Gila neutral. That's fine. It's a lot of plus frames. Kasuga, very, very good pressure. And what did I show you guys right here? There is no reason to interact with 21 here, because 21 has a bunch of steals, first of all, including Solar Flare that she just spent, but she still got Sticky Grab and she still got Key Blasts. And these buttons are massive. Trunks doesn't have anything that will close the distance in time for him to hit her that wouldn't get frame trapped. So he keeps blocking. She ID JM. Look at that JM. Oh my god. Can I get a 1 in the... Can I get a fucking baguette for that JM? That JM is huge. What the hell are you 21 players on? That is literally hitting from zone 2. Yeah. Oof. I'm playing Z Broly against all of you. I'm sorry. But there you go. 5S. She goes for 5H. Special. Right here, there is nothing that 21 can do. Her turn's over. She has to return to neutral. There's nothing she can do. Her turn is over. But you might be wondering, but Ken, she has an assist. She has barrier. Yeah, she does have barrier. But this is why I tell you guys, don't be so eager to just rush in and take your turn because of a couple of things. One, She's only -5, but look at the distance that Trunks has to travel to reach 21. Not only that, but Trunks doesn't have an assist yet. It's better for Trunks to jump away and then try to reorganize the attack, and he gets the punish with a very sneaky counterattack of his own. He flips into nothing, calls Janemba. She tries to anti-air grab and gets caught by Janemba's assist. A very, very sneaky trap. 2M. Yes, I know his 2M will reach there, but she will likely recover by the time he's able to activate his 2M. Meaning she will likely just jump or call barrier and then he eats a 2M. Just don't press there. And Trunks mains. That's another thing. Trunks mains. Stop pressing 2M. It is not that good of a button. You're not Gogeta. You are really minus on whiff, and you guys whiff a lot. It is not your damn turn. Oof. Empty vanish. Sparking kind of changing neutral a little bit. Whoo! And she's got sticky grab now. 21 mains. Doesn't quite get the conversion. But does get the 2H. Kasuga has been fishing for that 2H all match. No. For Gogeta, for red Gogeta, it should be 5M. And no, that is a perfectly fine button. Just keep pressing it. Because he can continue and extend his pressure off of 5M. You can't really do that with Trunks because his frame data is really, really bad. 236, yeah, CTF probably would have got there. But again, you don't want to whiff. Your opponent's probably going to retreat and whatnot. And if they IAD back, or if they retreat, or if they call barrier, you're going to get hit, and you don't want to get hit by that. This match is pretty much over. It's not a matter of what could hit. It's a matter of, is it worth it? Because Gila unequivocally made the right decision by retreating and then baiting a response from Kasuga's 21 by abusing EX, or I think it was normal flip, by abusing a flip with an assist. Very, very, very clever play, very difficult to deal with, and very, very interesting. We don't talk about that clip, all right? That clip, you guys don't get to see my crack. You guys don't get to see my crack supply. All right, so right off the bat, Gila picking a different team this time, and Gila reminding us who the best Vegito player in the world is. And I hate Vegito. Look at how Vegito just... I mean, this isn't part of the masterclass, but just look at how Vegito just shuts the shit down on neutral. Like, what do you do? Okay, kind of loses it there, gets hit by the 21 assist. Kefla sneaking under Gotenks and eventually taking a turn. This is very, 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 very messy. Very good defense. Okay, once again, very good defense. So you might be wondering, what's the answer here, by the way, if they raw tag? What do you do if you block this raw tag? What do you do in this position as Kefla? Dash block 2H. Because you dash, she'll end up right here. He'll try to JH because he's trying to keep you away from her, or he's trying to keep you away from him, and then 2H will catch him here. So, dash block JH. Yep. That is kind of why you have to be very, very careful, but that's also why you dash block. Because he just raw tagged, he's got no assists. So, if you block, you block. But yeah, dash block delay 2H. It's really good. How do I guard cancel? You hold forward plus an assist while you are in block stun. Look how Vegito just shuts pressure down. Just, like, I'm sorry, he shuts neutral down. Like, you could actually see, like, he knows. He knows. He just eyed these backs and like, yeah, you know what? We're going to play neutral. Come on. Come on. Kasuga dashes forward. 236S. Gets caught. Down text. 236S again. This time plus Gotenks. Neutrals his. And the worst part is that you can't really reflect Gotenks here, because if you reflect and you're not careful, Vegito can just 2M right in. Boom. Yeah, so if you reflect here, all Vegito has to do is just dash forward, 2M, that 2M's going to hit. If you try to double reflect, but you double reflect at the wrong time, that's a dead Kefla. Honestly, if I talked about Vegito, I would absolutely be talking about, I would absolutely be hopefully talking to Gila. Like, I would love to talk to Gila about Vegito. Look at that, shutting neutral down very viciously. Kasuga trying to find an answer with Zoom Zoom plus barrier, but not quite the best. Vegito's very hard to fight. Vegito is very, very hard to fight. There we go. Oh, pain! That is... Dog! Never mind. You want to escape the corner? Just play Vegito. Just play Vegito. Very, very good answer. Super dashed preemptively. Very nice, very nice, very nice. 18 starting to put the hurt on Vegito. Time to put him in the blender. And, yep. Okay. Sparking Vegito, not exactly the character you really want to be fighting. Alright, yeah, I agree. 21, the only character that could probably counter zone Vegito. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree. 21, good answer. Yup. Yup, great answer. Great answer right there. Great answer. The natural counter to Vegito, 21. Goes for the 50-50.
Dash reset, people. It works.
What do you think is going to happen here? It doesn't matter. JS is such a good angle, and so is 2S, that it doesn't matter if he got there first or not. The fact is Vegito can't press 236S carelessly, because most of the time he doesn't really care what JS you press. You're getting hit by his 236S, but not against 21. Yup. And right into a 5M. Look at that tail just smacking him in the face. Yes. Can I get a baguette in the chat? Can I get a baguette in the chat, please? That is brutal. Yup. Never mind. I want a baguette for that. Oh, that is pain. Oh my god, that is pain. But watch this. Watch this situation. So right now, Gila is very antsy. This is bad. You should not be jumping here. What Goichi normally does is, right now, he's buying time for his assists to come back. But the problem is that's a C assist. The smart thing to do here would be to jump forward, block, and just try to deal with anything you can. But you need to get away from this corner. Because if you don't get away from this corner, this is actually really bad decision-making from Gila's end. If you don't get away from this corner, she's just going to jail you to the corner, and she's just going to run up. And yep, she ran up. Yep. Blocks 2H, super dash. And watch what's going to happen. Okay? He is demonstrating right now that he is very jumpy. He is not sure what's happening, and he is very, very worried. 2H. Super dash. But Gila knows he has no assist here. The smart thing to do for this Gotenks is just block. Because 21 doesn't have anything you have to worry about necessarily. Like, yeah, she's got Sticky Grab, but Sticky Grab only hits on a crouching opponent or an opponent that's in the air. She's got Key Blasts, but not that bad. She doesn't have 3 bars, and she doesn't have an assist that gives her 50-50. She doesn't even have an assist that guarantees her turn again. The smart thing to do here would be just block, but he jumped. And Kasuga Knew he would. So guess what happened? Yes, she does, but it's reactable. And but this is a 17 frame command grab. That anti-airs frame 1, by the way, and catches jumping opponents and deals a fuck ton of damage. His jumpiness, so right here, you could actually see how Kasuga knows that he doesn't want to block. He knows. He knows. This is not necessarily a read. He knew for a fact that Gila was going to try to jump out. Because he knew that Gila's impatient. And boom. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Alright. Thank you so much for the follow, Destiny FY. Really, really, really appreciate it there, my friend. Gotta fix alert box on the VOD section. Boom. And that is a dead Gotenks. Gila literally lost Gotenks because of his impatience to block. If he had the awareness and just blocked and sat there, waited it out, waited 21 out, he would have been fine. Because there's no threat there. But because he was imagining threats or seeing threats that weren't there, he jumped out and then fell into the actual big threat, which is a problem. And now, this is the worst matchup in the world. You do not want to be here. Yeah, you really don't want to be here. You really don't want to be here. A lot of you guys have this habit. But this happens even when you can jail into Vanish. This jails. What do you guys think is going to happen here? Yep. If she sparked there, that would have actually been death. He knows this is mean. This is mean. Because here's another advantage that you have as a player that if you... So here's the situation. Okay? He spent barrier. He's going to choose to end his turn. Because why are you going to overpress against this character with 5 bars? Why are you going to pressure this character? It's Broly with no assists in neutral against her. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. But that was smart by Gila. Do never count Gila out for the count just yet. Gila coming up with a really, really, really smart play. Jumps forward like he should have done with Gotenks. And then immediately IEDs back, baiting the sticky grab right here. But instead, she's going to go for a 21. And she's going to go for her JS. And it doesn't matter because he's going to super dash punish. And that is how you get your offense started. That is so smart on Gila. Unfortunately, he drops it. But that is... Oh, pain. Pain! But that was such a smart decision by Gila. That was such a smart decision by Gila. We are 2-0 for Gila. Gila goes back to Janemba. Let's see if we can make something happen with Janemba now. But right here, very, very nice. Invalidates everything. Invalidates everything. And even if he could punish and whatnot, he Kasuga has barrier assist, so it's fine. Oh, bonk! Oh, right into the meaty bonk. I really need that emote. We need tier 3 subs. We need tier 3 subs. That emote. We need a bonk emote because I would be telling you guys to spam the bonk emote in the chat. Pain. This is just fucked up on a lot of levels. We'll just talk about this whole pressure exchange. IDJH... Barrier DR. That is not fun. That is not fun. But no! No! Oh my god. And you guys are about to see how south this can go at high level from just one fucking blunder. Literally just one blunder. How painful would 18 players' lives be if you could not land DRs while barriers active? It would be pretty bad, but you know, whatever. Because we would just get a 2M punish at that point. Oh my god. Yeah. All of this? Because that Janimba's alive, by the way. And guess what? Yeah. Yeah. All this because that Janimba lived. All this because that Janimba fucking lived. That is how one blunder in this game against these calibers of players can screw you for the rest of the match. Yep. Yep, I'd be frazzled too. Gross. JM, that's 0 on block, by the way. That's 2L. Whiffs 2L. And that long pause told Kasuga that he can mash here. Kasuga really should have been paying attention and blocking. But then the second hit of 5L is going to hit, which comes out on frame 14. And Gila is going to get the conversion. Right here, very, very smart decision on Gila's end. Realizing the combo dropped. Most of you guys would probably keep pressing. I probably would as well. Gila makes the excellent decision, backdashes, and gets out of there, avoiding her counterattack. But that was a bad decision from Kasuga. This is a bad super dash. Very, very bad super dash. So he super jumps back, calls an assist, and then super dashes. He's trying to get a super dash plus assist. The problem is 45-degree angle super dashes are the easiest thing in the world to 2H. And more importantly is if you are running Janimba A, you need to be prepared to 2H. And if you call an assist like that, you get happy birthday. And if Gila were a little bit cleaner, he would have killed 21 here. Or he would have actually brought in a 21 with significantly less life. But it doesn't matter. No need to pop Spark. Timascus. It's Gila, dude. And that, by the way, is why you need to be... Oh, this is such a fucking educational match. Because I feel like I'm predicting the future. Because I talked about it. And why, like, earlier I said you have to be careful reflecting Ki Blast assists or Ki Blasts. Like, if you're reflecting Vegito's 236S and you want to reflect the assist, it's better to just hold it. And why is it better to just hold it? Hi. Man, made him watch the level 3 animation too. That's so mean. No, quick question. Since I was gifted a sub, does that mean I get a Discord link? Yes, you'll be getting a Discord link pretty soon. Normally I have a mod do that, but my mods are currently indisposed. So I will send one to you after the stream is over. If you can DM me at... Maybe. I probably shouldn't give it away. But yeah, you do get a Discord link. I'll give it to you after the stream. Just remind me. Nah, I can't. I'll give it to you privately. (2H) Kasuga getting a little predictable. But barrier, baby. You need to be aware of when that assist is up. Yup. R plus frames. Very good Oki from Kasuga. Tap, tap, tap. Tap. See? Pressure. Pressure. DR. What a good snipe. Yo, look at this. I don't know why it's so funny. It's because I know Kefla's animation, she's like, yoink! Oh, he tried to go for the bombo. Ah, pain. God, Gila's matches with Gila are just so messy. Yeah, smart. I would get her out of there too. Watch your opponent's health, by the way. And watch your health as well. Normally, you don't want to let your point get that damaged. Good guard cancel. Very nice. Overextended. Gila thought he was still plus here. Nope. Nope. Into level 1, level 3. And this level 3 hurts. This is actually the best case scenario for Kasuga, because either this kills, and if it doesn't kill, it's a mix. But it kills. Kasuga regaining control over this situation. Very, very good round start. Surprisingly, not from Gila. I feel like that was a misinput. The round start here is basically dash block call assist. They both went for it. However, in this particular case, because Kefla is faster, if he had actually called Trunks, Trunks would have been protected right here, and Trunks would have come out a little bit later, which means that he probably would have hit 18 and it would have been Gohan's turn. Kasuga goes for the cross up but misses it, and then presses 5L immediately, but unfortunately, Gila's already in the air because her 5L hits low. Alright, so I gotta go to bed. Hopefully I don't miss too much. Pre-VOD. Night, y'all. Good night, Beowulf. Take it easy. Very, very good barrier call plus assist. There you go. And of course. Yep. Right here. Gila! Kasuga was baiting the spark. Very, very... What the hell? Okay. Yep, peace treasure. Very, very good. Sometimes it's good to pop the mix early. Call an assist, run up, and of course, the Diligent. He's ready to block. But he doesn't care. And he's going to DR. Five S change the future, flips forward. Pain. It's an easy mistake to make. What the hell was that? Okay. What a conversion. It's really hard to see the spark when you're in mid-match. Yeah, it is. No. What I mean is you don't want to do you don't want to escape the corner with dive. That is generally a bad idea and a good way to get 2H'd. And Kasuga does get 2H'd for it when he does that on the rare occasion. Okay. Okay. Tap, tap, tap. And then just backs off. Okay. Okay, smart. Oh my god. Oh my god, that movement was stressful. Oh yeah, when Kasuga's feeling himself, by the way, Kasuga just goes ham. Yeah, what did I tell you guys? You block the raw tag. Dash 2H. It's safe jumps, but it's your turn. Very nice pressure here. So we have the 5M, 5H, 5S, 5M. And it's going to hit Gila. Because Gila thought it was okay for him to move. But Gila is going to down tech buttons. Because Gila is a gorilla. That was a bad drop, to be honest. Like, if Kasuga Kasuga had that, he shouldn't have dropped. But what can you do? Honestly, I don't know what connection these guys are playing, and on top of that, I mean, they should be playing in pretty decent connection, but you never know. Okay, good spark. Very, very good. Yeah, Gila pulling his Gila thing. I hate Vegito, dog. I hate this character, dog. How do you New Yorkers honestly think that this character is not top 10 or even like top 5? Like, dog. I hate this. I hate Vegito, man. This entire sequence is pain. No, don't do this, Base Squids. I will kick you from the Discord. Oh, Stardust Blazer. Good to see you back, man. I'm glad to see you here. Man. This is such an ugly... This evolved into such an ugly fight, honestly. This is not beautiful Dragon Ball, to be honest. Yeah, smart, but no conversion from Kasuga. This is just messy. Good tech. And that's why you have to remain calm. 5L. Goes for a frame trap. He tries to act right out of it, not realizing that gap is actually 17. Bad situation. I gotta get back to doing stuff. Alright, thank you so much, Divisor, for joining us. I really appreciate it. I agree with Stardust. Stop doing this. Could we appreciate that 17 call in the middle of... Like, honestly, I've learned so much from watching Kasuga play. And from playing him myself, honestly. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. No 17 call. Wants to keep it nice and simple. Oh, wow, this is messy. This is very messy. Is this like Top Tie but French? This is just Top Tie's final form? Where it just plays so fast that your opponent can't think? Damn. Great tech by Kasuga. Right there, guys. Can I get a homework? Counter hit. Homework works. Top Tie's popular, but Top Tie's also a friend of mine. Like Top Tie. Oh. Jilla! Jilla! Jilla, just fucking block! Jilla, block! Jilla, please! I'm trying to teach my students defense! Please block! Well, you're seeing what happens if you mash even at the highest level. It's not a really good idea. Oh, really? That's cool. Oh, he's gonna go for the... Oh! He almost went for it! He went for the Pompo! He went for the JH5L link. He went for Biz's JH5L link. Alright. Potentially final match, depending on how this goes. Jilla playing this... I don't understand. I have quest... Oh. Phew. Blocks it, super jumps forward. Whiffs, reflects, but Kasuga just keeps swinging because Kefla. This is why Reflect is death, by the way. Tries to ID in and gets caught by Kefla's legs. Yes, Kasuga is the originator of your team and one of the best players in the world at playing your team, and it is really strong. Which is why I don't like any of the gimmicks that you guys come up with this team, because I fought Kasuga, and then I have to fight you guys, and it's just not the same. Right here, we can talk about this. So right here, Jilla decides to block. Block, very smart. Okay, holds it. Holds the reset, very nice. Backdashes here, so that way he can bait a response out of Vegito. He is hoping Vegito will mash out. So this was actually a call out to allow Vegito to actually press 5L and then get hit. But instead, Jilla intelligently calls an assist, which then Kasuga reflects and then continues blocking. Reflect assists, guys. And then from right here, he looks for the earliest gap he can find and then gets out. That was 6M. That is a free escape for Kefla. And Kasuga presses an assist as well to cut off the ground. Tries to 2H. He has barriers so he can keep himself safe. Jilla doing the smart thing, respecting barriers distance and immediately getting out of there. And Kasuga taking the opportunity to escape as well. Neutral. Oh no. Oh no. He reflected, but he should have reflected again. Instead, he thought that he fully nullified the block stun, but he didn't quite do it, and he was too quick. The gimmick is the team, and the gimmick is you guys pressing 2S over and over and over again, or JS, and I hate you for it. Very good tech. Very good tech. That was almost bad. Broly air dashes. Armors Kefla, but Kefla doesn't care. He just keeps swinging. This... Honestly, yeah, this is a dead Broly. Assuming Kasuga doesn't drop. Very, very smart. That's actually what you're supposed to do instead of JS. You're supposed to J2H into level 1. Because J2H always has the appropriate amount of block stun. Good. That was a great reflect from Jilla right here. So right here, we're going to review this situation a little bit. Jilla blocks. He reflects the 5H. So right here, he bites on the Ki Blast Gambit that we talked about. If you guys are not familiar with the Ki Blast Gambit, we do have a VOD up on Twitch. We did talk about this before. He reflects the JH. Backdashes, but then immediately reflects after the assist because he's aware that this assist does not have a lot of blocks done. And 21 gets reflected. That's fine. Blocks a Wu into very, very, very beautiful Yamcha. This is like fighting... If you guys are wondering what it's like to fight Stars Yamcha, it's actually very similar to this. Into Vegito. And no, this is not pre-nerf for Wu. This is post-nerf, I believe. Yeah, pre-nerf came with the Roshi patch, if I'm not mistaken. Or the patch right after. No, it was before Roshi. It was a 3.5. Yeah, no, you're right. This was pre-nerf for Wu, I think. You're right. Okay. Very smart. Very good reflect. Very good patience right here. But he's going to get mixed in neutral by 21 because Spark. I can't even complain. I hit Sai with that, and I still feel bad about it to this day. Oh, yep. That's going to be big pain. Big pain, big pain, big pain. That is a dead Vegito. That is a dead Vegito. Sort of. He reflected. I mean, sometimes you just gotta risk it for the biscuit, but they understand that risk. You don't. So it's better that you don't do that. You see, the thing is when they do... The difference is when they do risky stuff and when you do risky stuff, they are signing a contract. They signed a waiver. Their lawyers have gone over the waiver. They have read the fine print and understand the situation and understand the risks of what they're doing. So when they get hit, they're not surprised. And they know better, and they make a little bit more of a judicial effort to understand when it's possible to do that. When you guys make a mistake that's the exact same mistake, you guys did not read the fine print. So you guys are taking a risk you did not even understand you were taking. And that's generally the difference. And so that means you're going to use it a little bit more liberally, while they would be using it a little bit more judiciously. Oh my god, that delay of Wu was so good. That is a happy birthday. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. That is a dead Kefla. Oh no. He doesn't get the extra bar. Never mind. No, it's a dead Kefla. It's yeah. Ah, Yamcha. Good reflect. Great Gale Claw. God, Jilla's Yamcha is beautiful. It actually is beautiful. Jilla's serious. Whew. Oh my god. How does this match? How does this set end? This set is quite long. But it ends with Kasuga winning. We will do one more match, guys, and then we're going to wrap it up for here. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for the people who donated. You guys are very kind-hearted, and I really appreciate it. It really does mean a lot to me that you guys are supporting what we do here. Me and Star are trying our best to get this up and running for you guys and get some nice ideas coming on. I know I'm late with the stream schedule. My stream schedule will be up by tomorrow. And make sure to come back for after the maintenance, because then we have a wonderful special ring match evaluation where if you guys are on PC, you're welcome to come in and fight the Angel trainee that day, while I and another commentator will go ahead and review your matches. Without further ado, here is a great match. Wins neutral, very offensive neutral, kind of blows everything that he has up front. Goes for some mix-ups, but once again, very, very, very beautiful defense from Kasuga. So right here, boom, blocks. Okay? He respects reset, blocks the mix. He's looking for an opportunity to escape. Boom. He sees the green flash, he jumps. And that is why you just block. Unfortunately, JM doesn't quite hit there in time, but it is now Kefla's turn. And you can see Gila trying to jump out, but Kefla jailing back down every time. Very nice. Right here, beautiful. Goes for the 2M punish, but Broly intelligently vanishes to keep himself safe. Ki Blast. Does nothing. Presses 5M. Broly gets hit trying to get out. Very, very, very smart decision from Kasuga. 5S into 5M is a very powerful stacker stream. And we saw the first thing that we talked about, guys. Reflect the overhead. And not only that, but reflect tag. That actually could have easily have been a 2H if you're not careful. And notice how Kasuga, the moment he was reflected, look at what he did. Oh, yeah, nope. Go ahead. Good night. Thank you so much for the donation, Keter. I really appreciate it. Reflected overhead, walk back. This should have been a 2H. But that's okay. Kefla gets the punish on Vegito. Drops it, unfortunately. Will come to regret that decision later, I'm sure. But gets control over the match. Puts Vegito in the corner. It is now time for some Oki. Vegito running his game plan on Kasuga now. Very, very, very effective. We get a Bombo into level 1. Into level 1. Get Broly back out there. Put the bleeding Vegito back in. And now Broly's going to Pain Train. Waste of bar, unfortunately. Kasuga's going to get the touch again. And get bleeding Kefla out of there, which is a very smart decision, even if it was a risky DHC. He's going to get the cross up on 18. This is actually going to be pretty decent damage with an assist. Yeah. Yeah, are we going to get another... we got another DHC. This is actually insane. He's going to get that Super Dash confirm on 18. That is very... yeah, that's a dead 18. Yup, that's a super dead 18. Yup. Yup, that's a super dead 18. Gila keeping Yamcha in the back nice and healthy. Pain Train plus assist. I hate it. That's why you got to be careful reflecting, by the way. Reflects and then gets punched. Be careful even when reflecting assists. It's very dangerous, guys. Be careful reflecting into pressing buttons. You need to play the mind game. This Broly's going to make a freaking comeback on Kasuga. I do not like this matchup at all. Even in the slightest. You have Vegito. You have... against 21, this is fine. Walking forward with Power Shell. Understandable. Oh, I want to turn off the stream. I want to turn off the stream right now. I don't want to be here anymore. This stream is hurting me. This stream is hurting me, man. This is hurting me. Yo, thank you so much for the host, Viz. I appreciate it, but we're almost up. We're almost... I hate this match. Why did you press a button against a full screen Z-Broly? That is a great freaking question. I hate this. Okay, the Z-Broly's dead. Can Kasuga make this comeback with Sparking 21 in 5 bars? If she can get to... yeah, no, she can do this. Yeah, no, it's fine. Nah, she's fine. She's... yeah, no, she's really fine. Oh, no, she's chilling. Oh, she's chilling. Oh, she's chilling. Oh, yeah, no, she's chilling. Oh, now this matchup is very, very much in Kasuga's favor. Yep. No. Ah, but Gale Claw into level 3. Unfortunately, Yamcha doesn't get anything off of this. I don't even... Oh, but no, never mind. It kills. Jesus. Oh, wow. Wow. And that's going to be our show, guys. And that is the proper mindset. Just to reiterate, the proper mindset is you guys have to cultivate active defense. Don't just block for no reason. Pay attention to what your opponent's doing. Make sure you use your tools appropriately. I recommend revisiting this VOD as often as you can. Practice those ways to escape the corner. Super jump forward or super jump back and then double jump forward while floating. That is a very, very, very powerful statement that you can make. And remember, guys, try not to mash and reflect as death. That's pretty much our show. This is our introduction to defense. Now you guys have the mindset for defense. It's the same thing as pressure. So now you guys pretty much understand how you could start turning these situations into advantages for you. I hope this was great. Thank you so much for the people who donated, and thank you so much for everyone who joined me today. We will be back up again a little bit later tomorrow after maintenance for ring match evaluations, where I will get together with another Angel trainee and potentially a commentator, and we will essentially watch together some great, great matches. I want to see how you've all been improving. So tomorrow, please bring your A game. I want to see some fire. Bring the heat. Warm up in the lab before you guys come in here. I want you guys to smoke my trainees. I want you guys to try your best to just punch them in the face in a video game. So thank you guys so much for coming, and I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Have a great night.